Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the First Response Lawn Care YouTube channel. Not mowing today. Weather's been kind of gloomy, been rainy here recently, but I did want to get a video out. We recently did pass 100 subscribers, which is awesome. So that's a nice little accomplishment. This video is going to be going over, 5 tips or 5 things to consider when doing a lawn care or landscaping estimate, kind of outside of the box. So there's other videos on YouTube that kind of gives you a good baseline if you're new to lawn care or landscaping to consider. But this is kind of stuff that I've learned over time, but also just kind of outside of the box type ideas. So number one, now this is not in any real priority list or order, just 5 things. So number one is drive time to job. That's one thing you want to consider when you're doing an estimate, is how long it's going to take you to get to the actual job. Now, you want to also take into consideration if you may have to go 30 feet away from it to be more of in a safe place. What I mean by this is you don't want to park out on the roadway because you're afraid your truck and trailer might be getting hit by another vehicle, or worried about somebody coming to steal tools or something like that. So you'd rather park in the alley behind the house, which is going to cost you a little bit more time as far as getting to where the job is specifically. Or if you're doing a mulch job, you may have to wheelbarrow 30 extra feet or something like that. So just kind of keep that in your head, just timing wise, when you're doing a quote. Number 2, safety hazards. So kind of similar to what I just said with parking your vehicle. You want to make sure that you're kind of in a defensive mode, to where you're not going to put yourself in harm's way of getting your machinery or yourself hurt or damaged in any way. So you may have to think of that, but it might limit your efficiency. Mowing hills, it's a safety hazard, but it's also going to hurt your efficiency as well. It'll take you longer to go up and down that hill when you're mowing or weed eating or something like that, or wheelbarrowing rock or bringing in machines on hills. So make sure you take that into consideration as well. After a while, you're probably going to get tired of going up and down that hill, so that's going to deter your efficiency as well. Number 3, unplanned downtime. So obviously you've got planned and unplanned downtime. So for example, for planned downtime, if you're weed eating, at some point you're going to have to change that string out. That's planned downtime. Unplanned is, you may have some carburetor issues where your weed eater's not going to start. Other examples of unplanned downtime is trash that may be getting blown from the road in front to the property that you didn't account for originally to pick up. But as one of your services that you should be doing, or just one of the things you should be doing, is cleaning up that trash to create that curb appeal to have more customers see that. That might be one of your unplanned downtimes you may need to consider. If you're having a lot of restaurants or businesses around you, you may get a lot of trash blown into that yard, or there's a lot of trees around, a lot of branches coming down. You may want to pick that up before you damage your mowing blades. So just kind of a couple things to consider on that. Number 4, fees. So I do this, not everybody does, but I highly suggest edging yards for curb appeal, but it just makes the yard look so much better. Not everybody wants it though. Not every single yard can actually have it though. Maybe the concrete's broken, or just the layout of the land, you may not be able to edge it. But that's another selling point. There's another way you can make money or revenue, is by edging. So make sure you take that in consideration though when you first edge it. If you do, it's going to take a lot longer because of overgrowth, A lot longer because you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do with that debris, that dirt, that sod, whether it's putting it in the client's trash can or hauling away yourself. That's one extra thing you got to think about. Otherwise, you're gonna have to pay for it that you probably didn't plan for in the beginning. So that's number 4 on fees. Number 5 is the most common thing that you're probably going to be looking at as far as mowing. Doesn't necessarily have to do with landscaping. In a degree it does, but size of the lot is number 5. So over time you'll start to understand how long it should take you to mow a yard with the equipment that you have. So I have a 61-inch grasshopper zero turn that I can mow 1.5 acres in 42 minutes. That is strictly mowing, and that is straight out or straight land with 1 to 2 obstacles to mow around. Obviously, the more obstacles you have, the longer it's going to take you to mow around. So keep that in mind if you're new into this industry. As far as the landscaping side, obviously you're going to have your area that you're mulching, putting rock down, stuff like that. Your length times your width and your depth. So you want to make sure that you got the correct coverage that you need as far as the landscaping side. The correct depth is the main thing. Obviously you're going to get your square footage, but you want to make sure you got the right depth as well. And there's easy calculations for that if you don't know how to calculate that. You could call your local concrete or gravel supplier, and they can give you that information on how to calculate that. So other than that, that's just kind of a short video I want to put together for anybody that's going into lawn care or landscaping and starting out, kind of thinking outside the box on the extra things when doing quotes. But other than that, that's kind of finishing up the video. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Like I said earlier, we're seeing tremendous popularity or tremendous growth in this channel, so I appreciate it a whole lot. Thank you guys.